Who's ready to learn about soap? Oh, you need to talk. There's our audience. That's Kenny, my sister, and my mom on FaceTime, and Amy, and Drew is the cameraman. Okay. Good? Okay. Who, raise your hands. That makes sense, yes. Raise your hand if you like to save money. Anyone? Anyone? I see hands. Okay, that's good. Me too. I love to save money. I don't know about you guys, but I work really hard, and I like to keep as much of the money that I earn as possible and save it for stuff that I actually enjoy doing. So one of the things that I learned a couple years ago now to save money is to make my own laundry soap, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate for you guys today. Hopefully by the end of this you will see that making your own laundry soap is easy and affordable, actually kind of fun, and it's safer. This detergent uses all natural ingredients, and it actually is safer for you and your family and the environment than the stuff that you can buy in the store. So let's dive in. All right, first thing you need is a 5-gallon bucket. I have one right here. This is what our soap is stored in. We're actually going to make a lot. It's several gallons worth of soap. It's pretty full. It's for 128 loads. That's what we will make today. So it's important to have a big bucket with a lid. That way when the soap's done, you can cover it up, keep any dirt and bugs from getting in there. And then it's easy. I just put like my little cup on top. This recipe uses half a cup per load, so I just have that there. It's handy. I store it in the garage right next to my washer. And this recipe is for liquid detergent. So I prefer liquid. It's easier to, you just dump it in. You don't have to worry about it dissolving. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're using it for cold or warm. It works with everything. So this is for liquid soap. And this whole thing that we're going to make costs $1.66. And we'll talk about cost comparison and what that compares to what you can. She's like mind blown. We can talk about that in a second about how that compares to stuff like Gain and what you can get in the store. So 5-gallon bucket is important. Next thing is borax. Who knows what borax is or uses it or is familiar with it? Guys? Okay, good. All natural. It's actually found naturally in the environment. It's been around forever. It works really well with cleaning and deodorizing. For this recipe, we need a cup of borax. This whole box cost me $3.97, but we're only going to use like 30 cents worth or something for this. So 1 box of this will go a long way for making a lot of soap for you. Next thing is washing soda. Anybody familiar with washing soda? Okay. It's a lot like baking soda. It's sold by Arm & Hammer, which is like baking soda. It's really similar. Also all natural, occurs in the environment, not toxic. They actually have a little thing about environmental commitment on the top, like you can read about how natural it is. We need a cup of this. This is also good for deodorizing and cleaning. And then the last thing that we need, besides water, is soap. So I use Fells Naphtha. Are you familiar with this one? This is another one that's been around forever. It's a soap specifically for laundry. You can actually pre-treat stains with it. It's for cleaning clothes. So I use this for this recipe. It's 2/3 of a bar, and this is what your soap is going to smell like. So it just kind of, you can smell it. It just smells like soap. Give a whiff. How's that? So this is the part of the recipe that's customizable. Like you could use any kind of soap you want. If you want it to smell like lavender, you can buy lavender soap. If you want to go to Whole Foods and buy fancy vegan, he's like, yes, I'm going to go to Whole Foods. And like vegan soap, you can use that. It's whatever you prefer, but this stuff is super strong and works really well for me, and I'm okay with the smell it has. Okay, so 2/3 of a bar for that. All right, next thing we do is we need to start actually making it. We need a pot. I use a whisk to stir. We need a grater for grating our soap. Normally I would just start grating away. If you have a food processor and a grater attachment, that's even better. Like that would take 5 seconds, but I just use this. I'm fine with it. So I have some soap already grated, and we have 12 cups of water in the pot. So first thing is you just dump the soap in, you crank the heat on the stove, and you get this hot enough for the soap to melt. So I just whisk it around really good. It takes a couple of minutes. You just don't want to see any like lumps or clumps of soap floating around. Once the soap is melted, you add your cup of borax in here and your cup of washing soda right here. Mix it around. Just mix until this is dissolved. That usually only takes a couple minutes. Once that's done, you take your bucket. In your bucket, you want to have, it is 8 cups of hot water. So I just usually run the tap to hot, as hot as it'll go. That's fine. You don't need to use boiling water or anything. And you just dump it, your hot water in the bottom. And then, I didn't really let this dissolve very much, but you would take your soap mixture, and it would be hot, so be careful, and dump that in here. Once you have that mixed together, you would like give it a really good stir, and that just kind of makes sure that it's all melted and good in there. Once you do that, you would take, and this can be tepid water, this can just be room temperature, 2 gallons plus 12 cups into the bucket. So I usually use like a pitcher that I know the amounts, like this is 12 cups. So you would just make sure you get 2 gallons and 12 cups in there. Stir it again really good with your whisk. You take your 5-gallon bucket lid, snap it on the top, and put it somewhere safe, like in the garage where you're going to store it next to your washer, or inside a cabinet somewhere where it's not going to get jostled or messed with or anything, because it does have to sit for 24 hours. And then after 24 hours, it's done. You have soap. And where's my, oh, this is my final product. It just looks like this. It's like a very slightly lumpy, some people say it looks like egg drop soup. But that's it, and then it's half a cup for every load of wash. So I wanted to talk about the cost comparison real quick. So Gain, for example, where is that? I didn't grab the bottle of Gain. That's okay. Like a big tub.
Upper left. And through the
Up
doors.
here? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna grab it.
Upper left.
Right here. I forgot to grab it. Alright, so this 96 loads. How much do you think this costs?
$25.
$14.97 is how much I found it at Walmart for today. But that could have been on sale, who knows. So roughly $15, 96 loads for this right here. That comes to about 15 cents per load. What we just made is 128 loads, $1.66 for the whole thing. That's a penny per load. 15 cents a load, a penny per load. Chemicals, irritants, fragrances, all natural. I don't know, I just think that's fun and easy. Hopefully you guys can see how easy that was too and how affordable it can be. And thank you for listening.